Hey everybody, this is TJ from the SMARTfit team. Today, we're going to kick off the next episode in our Academy series, and this one is all about the SMARTfit trainer and pro trainer. This episode is called Getting Started and Setup, and it is designed specifically for those of you in the performance world: fitness, sports, tactical, youth training, and strength and conditioning. We are going to cover everything from downloading the app all the way to running your first program and everything in between. So if you have your tablet or your phone nearby, now is a great time to follow along on your own device as we go through this. And by the end of this session, you should feel confident turning on your system and getting your first session started. Let's get into it. Part 2, downloading the SMARTfit app. The first thing we are going to cover is downloading the SMARTfit app onto your device. I am on an Apple tablet here, and if you're on an Android, you're going to go to the Google Play Store. Go ahead and search SMARTfit Inc. in the search bar. What you are looking for is the SMARTfit Seize the Now app. You will see it in the upper left of your search results. That is the one. Go ahead and download it. Now keep in mind, if you are on a tablet, you will need a Wi-Fi connection to get in and get everything set up. Phones can use cellular data, but Wi-Fi is always preferred. Once it finishes downloading, go ahead and open the app. You will see a Bluetooth pop-up appear. Go ahead and select Allow. Part 3, creating your account. When you click Sign In, a pop-up message will appear asking to share your information. Go ahead and click Continue. You will then see a pop-up message that says SMARTfit wants to use B2C login to sign in. Go ahead and click Continue. The first thing the app is going to ask you is whether you want to sign in or sign up. Since we are brand new here, we are going to click the Sign Up Now option. Go ahead and type in the email address you want linked to this account. Once you submit that, the app is going to send a 6-digit verification code to that email address. Give it about 60 seconds. If you do not see it in your inbox, please make sure to check your junk folder. It does end up there sometimes. And if for some reason it still does not show up, you always have the option to send a new code right from the same screen. Once you have your code, type it in and make sure you click Verify Code. A lot of people skip that tap and run into issues when they try to finish creating their account, so do not skip that step. From there, you will set a password, enter your first and last name, and then you are ready to create your account. Go ahead and click that button and give it just a moment to load everything through. Part 4, selecting your role. The first prompt you are going to see after your account is created is selecting your role. You will see a screen that says Welcome to SMARTfit and ask what your role is. Here's how to think about this. If you are a trainer, a therapist, a coach, an owner, someone who is going to be working with clients or residents and tracking their data, you are going to select the manager role. The other option is the user role. That is really designed more for the individual, like if someone purchased a SMARTfit system for their home and they are the only one using it, in that case, data goes straight to their account. For most of you watching this, you are going to be selecting manager. And within that manager category, you will see options like trainer, therapist, coach, teacher, doctor, and owner. These all have the same features and abilities inside the app. Just select the one that resonates most with your role. And for this walkthrough, we are going to go ahead and select trainer. Part 5, selecting your license. The last prompt that comes up during setup is selecting your license. The app calls this your mode. And those two terms mean the same thing. License and mode are interchangeable. For this Academy series, we are going to be selecting the performance option. Here is something important to know about your license. It is not permanent. You can change your mode at any point inside the app. So if you ever want to explore what another mode looks like, you can absolutely do that. Just keep in mind that when you change modes, the pre-designed programs will change and the data and activities you have created in one mode will not carry over into another. So stay in the mode that matches your work day to day. For our purposes today and for the purposes of this episode, we are in performance mode. Go ahead and make that selection and you are in. Welcome to your SMARTfit account. Part 6, settings and configuration. The SmartFit Academy pop-up will appear. Go ahead and select Close for now. You may also see a pop-up letting you know a SmartFit update is now available to download. Go ahead and select Continue. Now that you are in your account, before you connect to your system, there is one setting you want to make sure you take care of first, especially if you are still waiting on your SmartFit system to arrive. This is a great time to get your settings dialed in. From the Home tab, tap the Settings button. The first and most important settings you are going to look for is your configuration. This tells the app what system you have. For the SmartFit Trainer or the Pro Trainer, make sure the correct system is selected here. Additionally, make sure the layout option matches the number of stations you purchased. Once you have confirmed your configuration and layout, go ahead and tap the blue Done button. A quick note on modes. From this same settings area, you can also change your mode at any time using the Change Mode option. That is always here if you need it. Part 7, the 5 tabs overview. Now let's take a quick look at how the SmartFit app is organized. You will notice at the bottom of the screen there are 5 tabs. These are always visible no matter where you are in the app. Let me walk you through each one quickly. The first tab is the Home tab. This is where you sign in, connect to your system, manage your clients, and access your settings. Think of this as your command center before a session starts. The second tab is the Play tab. This is where you will spend most of your time. All of your games, all of your pre-designed programs, activities, and any custom activities and programs you build yourself, they all live here. This is your day-to-day training hub. The third tab is the Test tab. This is where your cognitive tests and your dual task cost tests live. Now keep in mind, the dual task cost tests are only available if you have the Rehab Assessment license, which is in the RA license. If you did not purchase that, you will still be able to browse the assessments and watch the videos. You just will not be able to run them until you are on the right license. The fourth tab is the Data tab. This is where all of your statistics and progress tracking live. You can pull up quick glance graphs for any client, look at progress over time, and even export data to Excel from here. And the fifth tab is the Build tab. This is where you create programs, build PDF reports, set up custom target selections and sequences, and manage things like word lists for the spelling game and equipment lists if you want to track what equipment your clients are using during a session. That is your 5-tab overview, simple layout, but a lot of power in each one. Part 8, Modes Recap. Let me quickly show you the different modes available in the app so you know what is out there. From the Change Mode option in Settings, you will see 4 choices: Rehab Mode, Performance and Fitness Mode, Games Only Mode, and Education Mode. The main thing that changes between these modes is the pre-designed programs that appear in your Play tab. Rehab mode gives you the brain health and rehab focused programs. Performance and fitness mode gives you the sports, strength and conditioning, and tactical programs. Games only mode do not include any pre-designed programs. For everything we are covering in this episode, we are staying in performance mode. Part 9, connecting to your system. All right. Before you can run any session, there is one step you always need to do first, and that is connecting your tablet to your SmartFit controller. You do that right here on the Home tab using the Manage Connections button. Go ahead and tap Manage Connections. Give it a second to load. You will see a list appear. Any nearby SmartFit systems will show up here by their controller ID number. If you have more than one system, you will see more than one ID. Tap the one you want to connect to and let it load. You will know you are connected when the app tells you that 9 targets are found. Once you see that, you are ready to go. One pro tip here, and this applies to pretty much everything in the app: click once, let it load, and then move to the next thing. The app works best when you give it a moment between taps. If you double or triple tap a button quickly, you can run into issues. One tap, let it load, you are good. If you ever need to disconnect from your system, you have a few options. You can tap the X at the top right of the Manage Connection screen. You can power your system off and back on, or you can simply close the SmartFit app and sign back in. Part 10, adding a client. Last step before your first session, you need to activate a client. At the top of the Home tab, you will see 3 fields: Active Trainer, Active Client, and Active Group. You are already signed in as the Active Trainer. Now we need to set the Active Client. Quick note: The label you see here will match the role you selected during setup. If you created a therapist account, you will see active patient. If you created a trainer account, you will see active client. If you created an owner account, you will see active member. Same feature, just different terminology based on your role. In the top right corner of the screen, you will see an add user symbol. Tap that and select create new user. There are 4 fields you will have to fill out. First is the name. Second is the username. Third, and this is where most people get stuck, is the date of birth. Make sure you at least change the date of birth off of the default. If you leave it on the default, you will not be able to create the account. And fourth is the gender. You need to select one to complete the profile. Everything else below that is optional. Once those 4 fields are filled out, tap the blue save button. One thing to know, after you save, the new client will not appear on the screen right away. Go ahead and tap the back arrow. Then come back in and you will see them there. Tap their name to activate them and you are all set. You can also edit a client's information at any time or remove them entirely by swiping left on their name. Part 11, the Play tab and pre-designed programs. Now let's take a look at the Play tab so you know what you have available to you. When you tap Play, the default view is going to be your game categories. Right now in the performance mode on the SMARTfit Trainer, you have access to 19 folders and around 56 different games across all of those folders. On the SMARTfit Pro Trainer with 2, 3, or 4 stations, you have access to 8 different folders and around 19 different games across all of those folders. The games at the top of the list, Rally Wall, Knock the Lights Out, Track, Chase, these are your lower cognitive, higher motor games. We call these bottoms up games. Focus here is reaction time, simple stimulus, react as fast as you can. As you move further down the list, the cognitive demand increases. Go, no go, track, left, right, both, all add a decision-making demand to them. Continue to move down the list and you are going to get into executive function, working memory, processing speed, and attention. Games like Seek, pattern recognition, Stroop, Corsi Block, trail making, and much more after that. These require the brain to process information, make decisions, and then execute. That is what we call top-down training. One of the main benefits to the game options is that you get to set them up however you'd like. The equipment you want to use tied with the exact physical demand that is right for your client. How you utilize these is 100% up to the trainer. In addition to the game categories, you also have access to the pre-designed activities and programs. You will find these by scrolling through the top navigation bar in the Play tab. These pre-designed activities and programs are built for you from the games. They are video-supported options that come with your system, organized by your mode and license. In performance mode, you are going to see the folders for sports, tactical, active aging, strength and conditioning, and active aging group class. What makes these valuable is consistency. Each activity and each activity inside a program has locked-in settings. The same duration, the same sensitivity, the same equipment, and the same movement. Because the game is always played the exact same way, your data is always comparable. That is what makes progress tracking meaningful over time. Not to mention, it gives a trainer or therapist the ability to use SMARTfit with specific clients or patients quickly, without the need to make all the decisions about which settings and which equipment to use. Part 12, Case Scenarios, Selecting the Right Pre-Designed Program. Now that you know your way around the app, let's put it all together. I want to walk you through a couple of real-world client scenarios, the kind of people you are going to work with every day, and show you how to land on the right pre-designed program for each one. The thing to keep in mind as we go through these is that every one of these folders breaks down further once you open it. You are going to choose a focus, and then you are going to choose a difficulty level. There are 3 levels of difficulty available, and you can approach that from the physical standpoint or a cognitive standpoint, depending on what your client needs. Now, a question I get all the time is, I think I'm in the right folder, but how do I know whether to choose a physical focus or a cognitive focus? Here's the simplest way to think about it. Lead with your client's greatest area of need. Ask yourself, what is the thing most likely to affect this person's daily life? If it's their balance, their walking, their mobility, you're going to lead with a physical focus like gait or balance. Case study 1. Our first client is a healthy, active adult who's here to train. Think of someone working on their overall conditioning. They want to get their heart rate up, move well, and push their fitness. But here's what makes SMARTfit different from just putting them on a treadmill or a bike. While they're doing that cardio-based work, they're also reacting, tracking, and making decisions on the system in real time. That's the dual task piece. We're layering a cognitive demand on top of a physical demand, and that combination is what builds real-world athleticism. Because in sports and in life, your brain and body never work in isolation. They work together under fatigue, under pressure. So for this client, we're going to head into the strength and conditioning folder. Right away, it starts you off with a choice between physical and cognitive. Since the priority here is conditioning, we are going to lead with the physical side. From there, we are going to go into the cardio folder. Once you're in here, you'll see 3 levels of difficulty. Level 1 is the easiest, both physically and cognitively. Level 2 steps it up and gets a little harder, and level 3 is the most challenging. For this client, we're going to select cardio level 2. Now this is how a program is going to look. You'll see a sequence of activities laid out for you. In this example, there are 4. Each one of these 4 activities comes with its own video. The app moves you along through each activity automatically, and as the trainer, you'll be able to watch these videos ahead of time. That way you can pre-select the program, watch through it yourself, and have it ready to go for your athlete or client before they even start. Then once you and your athlete are actually going through the session together, those videos will help show them exactly what they are doing, both physically and cognitively. And you'll notice this program is built to flow like a real workout. It starts with a dynamic stretch to warm the body up. Then it moves into 2 cardio-based activities, boxing and high knees, and that's where you'll really get the heart rate up while the brain is still focused on the game. And then it finishes with pairing colors as a cool down, which shifts the focus mostly over to the cognitive side, working on hand-eye coordination as the body recovers. So you've got a warm up, your conditioning work, and a cool down. A complete session start to finish with the brain engaged the whole way through. Case study 2. Our second client is also an active, healthy client, but this time they've come to us with a different concern. They're noticing they're losing concentration at work and making poor decisions when the pressure is on. Physically, they're already capable. That's not the limiting factor. What we're training here is the brain, reaction time, processing speed, attention, and the ability to make the right decision fast, even when they're tired and the pressure is on. That's attention and executive function. And it's one of the biggest separators between someone who cracks under pressure and someone who thrives in it. So for this client, we are going into that same strength and conditioning folder as before, but this time instead of choosing physical, we are going to select the cognitive folder. Once you're in the cognitive folder, you'll see it breaks down into a few options to train. Processing speed, which is reaction time, attention, which is concentration, executive function, which is decision making, and memory, which targets working memory. For this client, since concentration is what they're struggling with, we're going into the attention concentration folder. Now, a quick note here. In this particular folder, you'll see level 2 and 3 only. There isn't a level 1 in here at this point. So we're going to select level 2 for this example. Now, this is how a program is going to look. You'll see a sequence of activities laid out for you, and in this example, there are 6. Each one of these 6 activities is targeting concentration and decision making, but every single one is tied to a physical task as well. That's the key. We're forcing the brain to focus and decide while the body is working, which is exactly the environment this client needs to train in. Let me walk you through it. The first activity is called reality check, where they're doing a medicine ball tap as a warm-up while playing Seek the Letter. The second activity is Seek the Smiley Face while sprinting to and from a cone. The third is a lower body lateral lunge alternating each side, paired with a Seek the Number game, counting by ones. The fourth and fifth is a single leg balance task while playing pattern recognition, where they're finding 2 matching letters. And then we finish with a cool down. They're throwing a tennis ball while balancing on a Bosu ball and counting in reverse order by 7s. So from start to finish, this client is never just standing there and thinking. They're concentrating, deciding, and reacting while their body is loaded up with a physical challenge. That's how you build decision making that actually holds up under pressure. And that is your getting started and setup overview for the SmartFit Trainer and Pro Trainer. You now know how to download the app, create your account, set your license, configure your settings, connect to your system, add a client, and find your pre-designed programs. If you have any questions in the meantime, please do not hesitate to reach out to the team. We will see you in the next one.